Hello, this is Santran. I'm from the product management in SAP Business Data Cloud. And on today's session, I would like to show to you how to enrich data products with SAP Databricks. As you might know, SAP Databricks is an integral part and component of SAP Business Data Cloud, which you can use to apply machine learning and other AI capabilities. Now from the agenda, we will have a quick look into the vision of SAP on the interplay between application, data and AI. Then we will get to know about the key capabilities of SAP Databricks. And finally, we will get into the SAP Databricks system and I will show you along the scenario of cash flow how you can enrich data products and apply machine learning with SAP Databricks. Now let's get started with the SAP vision. On the bottom layer, you can see the SAP applications such as S/4HANA, Concur, Ariba, and many others, which we in SAP try to consolidate into one single technology platform. The goal here is to support you with your transformational journey into the cloud and provide you integrated business processes. Over the time, your integrated applications will generate high volume of data scattered and distributed across different landscapes lying on different platforms, having different data types such as structured, unstructured data, and maybe you want to even consolidate or join with other non-SAP data sets. And this is where SAP Business Data Cloud is coming handy and provide you a data management strategy to orchestrate and govern all of your business data. Third, we would like to offer you, in addition, and equip you with AI technologies, such as SAP Joule, our conversational AI, foundational model, knowledge graph, and many more AI technologies, which you can integrate and embed into your intelligent applications and loop back and reintegrate into your LOB applications. Now let's have a closer look into the Business Data Cloud. It is completely built on top of the paradigm of a business data fabric, which consists of many different feature sets. And one important component is the so-called data product ecosystem. This is the layer where all of the data from your LOB applications, such as S/4HANA, are replicated and staged in Business Data Cloud. And that is completely SAP managed. That means that once you purchase Business Data Cloud, you will have right away consumption-ready data products exposed by your LOB applications. Furthermore, the data fabric consists of different components such as data sphere with warehousing, data modeling capabilities. You will have also analytical and planning capabilities offered by our analytics cloud. Furthermore, we will also support you with your transition from BW on-prem, business warehouse on-prem, and transition into the modern Business Data Cloud architecture. And for the AI, we will offer you in-house capabilities from AI Foundation, Business AI Foundation. And last but not least, we have also the SAP Databricks, which is a partnership between SAP and Databricks. With this partnership, we want to address specifically the need of the persona data scientist who needs an environment to develop, deploy, and maintain machine learning models and doing pipelining, but also to do data discovery and data engineering. So what are the key capabilities of SAP Databricks? And first here to mention is the Delta Share protocol that we are using from Databricks to share data between different a system landscape without any copy, zero copy, without any replications and transformations. So you can access the data products from SAP, the LOB data, remotely and in a federated manner. Second, the Unity catalog, in collaboration with Databricks, can understand also SAP data products, can read the additional metadata from SAP, from Business Data Cloud, and consume them right away and access your LOB datasets in the catalog. You will also benefit from the out-of-the-box capabilities from Databricks, such as Databricks SQL, so you can explore, query on semi-structured and unstructured data and using the Databricks capabilities. You will also benefit from the ProCode feature sets, such as notebooks, where you can then implement using Python, Spark, and doing data engineering in a ProCode manner. And you will benefit also from the integrated libraries and capabilities in Databricks, such as Mosaic AI for Gen AI capabilities, but also MLflow to track and monitor trained models in your machine learning. Now let's get into the demo. And just before we start, let's have a quick look into the data flow so that we understand better the sequence, what we will see in the system in a few seconds. So you see here different boxes, different components. On the bottom, we have the source systems. In our case, it is the S/4HANA, where where the LOB are providing SAP manage the data products. For this demo, we are using the cash flow data product, which is exposed into the so-called SAP foundational service layer of Business Data Cloud. And this is completely, as I said, SAP managed. Those data products can be then seen in the data catalog of Business Data Cloud, and they can then installed those data packages and then can be available in the catalog for exploring, for search, and so on. So those data products then can be shared towards SAP Databricks and will be visible in the Unity catalog. And then the data science can come in and apply in this demo, for example, some machine learning algorithm. In this scenario, we will then apply on the cash flow data product, we will apply a forecast. So we will use some forecasting algorithm, and then we will persist the machine learning data sets results locally in Databricks. And those results, again, without any copy, will be shared back to the BDC cockpit in the data catalog. And then those data sets can then basically be merged and can be integrated in the DataSphere models and views, and then can be consumed eventually in the SAC. So this two last part will not be part of the demo. So the main focus is really to show you how to share data products to Databricks, apply machine learning, and reshare back to the Business Data Cloud catalog. Now let's get started and move into the Business Data Cloud cockpit. And we go there into the catalog, since only the catalog admin today can do the sharing. And search again for the cash flow data product, which is this one here. And very similarly to the installation, we can now share this cash flow data product into the connected SAP Databricks system. And there I need to also provide a target Databricks workspace. It is already available in some other testing workspace. In my case, I would like to make it available in the demo workspace. For that, I select that and update the sharing. Now that it is shared, let's move on and switch to the SAP Databricks to validate the share on the other side. For that, we go to System Landscape, for example, where you see all connected system in this formation. And you see here the connected Databricks, and I can access it with this link. And I would like to start in my demo workspace, where I have shared the cash flow table. For that, I also go into the catalog, the Unity catalog of Databricks. And you see already here the delta shares that are received in this workspace, demo workspace. And within this share, you see the cash flow table that we have just shared. And I would like also to see and whether I can find some data. And here you can see an access from Databricks through Business Data Cloud, access the data products from S/4HANA. All right, let's recap a bit what we have done so far. We have installed the cash flow data product from the S/4HANA system, make it available in the Business Data Cloud catalog. From there, we use Delta Share to share this data product in SAP Databricks. And from there, we could already easily access the data from S/4HANA. Now we are ready to apply the machine learning. In our scenario, we would like to forecast the cash flow, as I said. And for that, we will apply 4 major steps. In the very first step, we will do the so-called data preparation. We will filter invalid data records. We will remove null values and do some data cleansing activities. In the second step, we will do the training based on the cash flow data available. We will use MLflow to orchestrate the training and apply so-called auto time series algorithm. And then in the third step, we will then apply the prediction and we will forecast the cash flow liquidity for the upcoming few months. And finally, the result sets will be shared back to Business Data Cloud as a derived data product. All right, let's start with the data preparation. For that, I have already prepared a Jupyter Notebook script here. In the very beginning, we will install some libraries that are required, which I did already beforehand, since it will take a few minutes. And we will need to import the packages. And very importantly, we need to create a catalog for our scenario, which I call demo catalog. We are using in our scenario Spark to read the data and also transform the data. And here are some data preparation typical steps that you're doing. You replace the empty strings with null values. We are doing some date conversion, and we have to group the dates into months because we would like to do the forecast on month level. And then we finally convert back and store it in a table. So let's go through the steps. So we will replace. So that should happen pretty fast with Spark, which can process the data in a very performant way typically. And I would like add a code line here. And here you see already the prepared data. In the very next step, we will then store the data set and create a table called prepared cash flow time series, where we are storing this intermediate cleaned up data in Databricks locally, and then write the records into the table. So now that the table are written, you can find this created table also in the demo workspace, demo catalog, sorry. And there we find the prepared cash flow time series data that we have cleansed and prepared now for the next step. Now we're moving on with the next step, which is the cash liquidity training. Most important here is that we are using the ML flow to orchestrate our training of the data, where you can run various training sessions and experiments, and then you will choose and lock the best ML model. Then we are using the AutoTS, Auto Time Series library, where you can set a lot of different parameters to get the an optimized training model. And I have already installed the required libraries, Python libraries, and imported them into our Jupyter notebook here, and also loaded the prepared data sets that we just did into Spark here. And we are basically moving on to start the training. So let me just set the ML flow here, where we set a new experiment called time series forecast. We will have a helper class here, which we will use for the AutoTS time series. And you see here various parameters which you can tweak and tune to basically optimize your training models. We have different choices here of model lists that you can use for training. So for the sake of the time, we are setting the following parameters with the model list type fast. So we would like to really get a fast training here, but you see here from the model list, you would have different choices depending on the data. You can here optimize, and then let me apply that first. And then we will trigger via the ML flow the training model. And while it's still doing the training, maybe just to explain here, we will also register the trained model, the last one, and label it with a alias called production, which we will then use for our prediction. So we simplified a bit here and just basically pick the last trained model. So after the training model is finished, we have then the model trained labeled with production. We can also go into the catalog, because this model will be also persisted as part of our entities. So you have beside tables also the models, and you see here also this cash flow TS underscore model. And when I open that in Explorer, then you can see this model with various training versions. In my case, it's only one version, which is labeled with production. So we can now move on with our next step and use exactly this model with this version for our prediction. Okay, next step, moving on. Let's do the forecast, the prediction part. where I have also prepared this Jupyter notebook, installed already the libraries, and now we would like to apply the prediction using the model that we have just trained. We are loading also the prepared data sets again here, and important here is to load the model, which we call cashflow underscore TS model with the label production. I mean, you can optimize here by selecting the best trained model. Since we have only one training session so far, we just simplify it and pick the labeled one. And we just right away apply the prediction. We can basically put this into the Spark and display the prediction data if you like. And you see that there are data written and for prediction. So these data sets we would like to write into a table, which we call cash flow underscore prediction with two primary keys, which is date and company code. It is important to mention that data products in Business Data Cloud require always a primary key. Without a primary key, you cannot install those data products later in Business Data Cloud. And with that, we are basically ready to share those prediction data of cash flow back to Business Data Cloud. And for that, we are moving to the catalog. Let's just double check the demo catalog, where we should have now, beside the prepared cash flow time series, which we use for intermediate preparation data, we have also now the cash flow prediction table. And this table is the one that we would like to share back to Business Data Cloud. For that, we go into this Delta sharing, where you can share it by myself, but I will create a new Delta share. Let's call it demo cash flow share. And save that, demo cash flow share. And I need to also select the demo catalog, the table that we have just applied the prediction. And let's save that. And then we need to select also a recipient, which is in our case the SAP Business Data Cloud. So with that, the delta share of SAP Databricks is set, and we need to add a few more files, which we are now going to apply in the next step. For the next step, we need an additional Python package, which is called SAP BDC Connect SDK, which is currently available in the version 1.01.10. And this package help us to create those additional files and publish it into Business Data Cloud, especially the files of open resource discovery is worth mentioning. This is a SAP protocol which we are using in SAP to describe various entities such as APIs, events, but also data products. And we are also using the so-called core schema notation season files to describe the fields of the data products entities. So these two files we will need to create, and for that we will use this Python library. Now back to SAP Databricks. I have already prepared the Jupyter notebook for sharing back to BDC. I have also installed the just described SDK, SAP BDC Connect SDK, and imported the packages accordingly. The Delta share name is demo underscore cf underscore share. And then I'm using the SDK to generate the so-called ORD file with some description here. The title is Demo Cashflow Databricks Prediction. That would be also the title that we will see later on in Business Data Cloud. In addition, we need to create a so-called season file. And we can also check the schema, how it looks like. It's a JSON format file describing the elements of the data products. And last but not least, we will also publish the entire data product and make it available in Business Data Cloud. We finally have arrived at the last step of our exercise. Since we have shared the predicted data from Databricks back to Business Data Cloud, we have now to install the shared derived data product here and create a view in DataSphere. Now, coming back to SAP DataSphere, we are checking the catalog and search for the demo data product that we just created or just shared. And here it is, demo cashflow Databricks prediction. Let's revisit quickly. So we have here some additional data that we have added as well. But important is that we have these entities, and here inside that we see the cash flow prediction table that comes along with this delta share. So let's install this table. And for that, I use the demos, the DBX demo that I have prepared for myself. And let's do it remotely. We don't want to replicate anything, but just point to the delta share of Databricks. And then we start to make it available in DataSphere. And once the installation runs successfully, you can go to the data builder, into the DBX demo sun space, where you see this remote table shared from Databricks. We will create now a dummy view, a graphical view, where we can use this remote table just to illustrate, and you can do a data preview on this remote table. And from here, you can also see then some data and the predicted data here. You see the data for timeline of in June, in July, in August of 2025 up to September. Yeah, and with that, I hope that I could show you how easy it is to consume from SAP Databricks the data products coming from the source systems such as S/4HANA, and that you need to just share via Delta Share to Databricks. Then you can apply your machine learning and getting more insights, enrich the data products with those data, and reshare it back for Business Data Cloud for further processing. And then you can include that in your story and dashboards. All right, thank you very much for having me and for joining this session. If you are more interested into SAP Databricks, I want to maybe point you to the Tech at November in Berlin. There will be a hands-on session on Databricks where you can really then do some exercises in a classroom format and then get to know and make yourself familiar with the SAP Databricks yourself. With that, I wish you a nice day. I'll talk to you. Bye.